Fura is a simple woman of action, you could say. Whatever my father would say, she'd do.
Oh? What is it?
Not much, because there isn't really anything to do when you live on an island. And yes, on rare occasions I did travel to Skyrim with my father, on business. By which I mean intimidation, scheming, bribery, blackmail, an execution or two. You know, your typical chores of a Volkihar patriarch. And he did teach me some of those skills, if you could put it that way. But I didn't really do anything fun for the most part. I definitely didn't have a normal childhood. I guess that's what you get for being a follower of Moloch Baal. Though, besides the typical gardening and reading, I also did sing quite a bit. I wasn't nearly good enough to join the Bard's College, but I was pretty decent at it, and it made me feel less lonely. Tell you what, give me some time to warm up a bit on the side, and maybe I'll sing something for you.
What now?
All right. The Dusk on Anvil Harbor. It's a song my mom used to sing to me back on the island. I hope you like it. Waves touch the coast, harbored in twilight's blue. From dawn came the sunlight, and with dusk it fades from our view. Calm embraces the sky, and storms rage in our hearts. For honor, glory, and love, from Anvil we do depart. The fire lights the path, and the salt, it sprays in our eyes. But warriors born of stone, they are never afraid to die. Bells on the docks, they cry out for the mortal day. And winds sing the dirge for the words we never could say. And sails fly out half-mast in the color of evening's hue. And tears break the silence for the children we almost knew. When dawn kissed the ocean, from the golden light came our birth. And when dusk falls on the harbor, to the golden shores we will return. So, what's on your mind?
Oh? What is it?
I have, actually. I call it Old Stone Walls. It's relatively new. I haven't worked out the tune of it completely, but it just sort of came to me a few nights back. It's about, well, just listen. You'll see. Old stone wall, towering over the sea, but a candlelight high up, shining brightly. All alone, sitting in the bay window, tear-stained eyes, and the waves crash below.
No, I live to serve. No, I don't need anything right now.
Old stone walls, dark. Long lost hopes and secrets sealing my heart. But then you were there, reaching out your hand. And for just a moment, I was brought to life again. Old stone walls, I've seen so many now. Tales and stories, and the joy of being dragged around. Your smile so bright, I could go blind. But that's okay if you stay by my side. Cold dripping leather, the smell of rain. You fast asleep as I study your face. Old stone walls, they don't hold me anymore. I'm happy where I am, in the grip of your arms.
Oh? What is it? Do you need something?
You know that Imperial song, The Age of Oppression? That and the other one, The Age of Aggression, I think it was anyway. Oh wait, sorry. The Age of Aggression was for the Imperials, and the latter was for the Stormcloaks. I got them mixed up. Point is, they're basically the same song, but with different lyrics. Each basically propaganda for each side. If you sang the Imperial song with the Stormcloaks, you'd basically get a death sentence. And likewise if you did a similar thing with the Imperials. I thought I'd make something which won't get anyone killed. My own little variant of this divisive thing. Hopefully more inclusive, barring the Thalmor. We drink to our youth, for the days come and gone. For the age of invasion is just about done. We'll drive out the Thalmor and restore what we own. With our blood and our steel, we will take back our home. Down with the Thalmor, the bringers of chains. On the day of their death we will drink and we'll sing. We're the children of Skyrim and we fight all our lives. And when Sovngarde beckons, every one of us dies. But this land is ours and we'll see it wiped clean of the scourge that has sullied our hopes and our dreams.
Yes, how may I serve you, my lord? I'm afraid I won't be able to help you with the scrolls any longer, my lord. Please, do not be angry with me. I'm afraid in my haste to read the first scroll, I neglected the time I needed to prepare. The failure is purely mine to bear. As you can see from my bandages, it's not that I am unwilling, it's that I am physically unable. Oh, please, my lord, please, forgive me. If only such a miracle existed, I'd overcome the impossible in order to secure it, if it meant pleasing you. Although I would gladly die by your hand, perhaps I could offer an alternative way to read the scrolls. Oh, thank you, my lord, thank you. Scattered across Tamriel are secluded locations known only as ancestor glades. There's one in Skyrim in the Pine Forest. Performing the ritual of the ancestor moth within the glade should provide the answers you seek. It involves carefully removing the bark from a canticle tree, which will in turn attract ancestor moths to you. Once enough of the moths are following, they'll provide you with the second sight needed to decipher the scrolls. In keeping with tradition, you must use a specific tool in the ancestor glade, an implement known as a draw knife. Every moth priest is taught this ritual, but few ever get the chance to perform it. You should consider yourself fortunate if it works for you. From what I saw in the vision, the Elder Scroll which foreshadows the defiance of the gods with the blood of mortals is the key to the prophecy. Fortune smile upon you, my lord.
I hope we reach the ancestor glade soon. In terms of death cults, the Dark Brotherhood does have some sense of order. Weapons up. I sense something.
Time to end this little game.
Show yourself!
Not very impressive, is it? If this ends up being a wasted trip, your friend Dexian and I are going to have some words when we get back. This must be the place. Look at this place. No one's been here in centuries. I doubt there's any other place like it in Skyrim. It's beautiful.
What now?
You're sweet to say that. You always say what you think, don't you? Yes, I know you do. I can see it in your eyes. Thank you. I understand. Take your time. I never trusted those damn scrolls. Just look at Dexian. Anyway, whatever happens, being out here with you makes everything else worth it. Of course. I care about you. A lot. You deserve to be happy. I promise you, I'd never do anything that could hurt you. The world is alive after all these years. It's exactly what I'd imagined when I was a girl. In my books, anyway. I was. Obviously, that didn't appeal to my mother. I don't know. Honestly, it took me up until now to figure out that my mother was really just as bad as my father. I can't say it surprises me, but I figured it would be more of an issue for you. I guess it never is with families, is it? Yes. This is the part where we usually get closer. Bonding, if you know what I mean. You keep surprising me. You keep surprising me. I did. I never knew it would be this beautiful. Thanks. I care about you. A lot. Like the best of friends. This is the part where we usually get closer. Bonding, if you know what I mean. As you wish. I'm willing to do it for us. But it has to just be me and you. Me too.
Oh? What is it?
I may be out of the loop on the whole romance thing, but that pickup line is just bad. Abysmally bad. And yours are anything but better? Try saying this to Carlotta, back in Whiterun. And don't even think about asking Mikhail for advice beforehand. Anyway, I'm glad you're here with me. It really is picturesque, and I couldn't have gone this far without you. You know, this is going to sound odd. I mean, with everything that's going on. The prophecy, the scrolls, the certain death looming over us all the time. But this place is so beautiful. It's kind of like I used to imagine, you know. Make love to the one person in my life in the most beautiful grove in all of Tamriel. My, maiden dreams. They're just some silly fantasies I had back when before, well, what I got was the exact opposite of everything I had imagined. I guess it's ironic, now that, thanks to my father, I'm here. With you. Do you think I'm beautiful? Alluring even? Ravishing? Do you want me? Why don't we make Dibella blush? Right here, right now, like there's no tomorrow. Then, what are we waiting for? Wow. I feel so liberated, strong, and I feel lighter, free, finally, just free. Should have done this ages ago. This is nothing like... And you're good at this, huh? My ravishing partner. Oh, I feel so good, you have no idea. We should do this again, soon. You know, I'm not exactly the marrying type or anything like that. Temples don't really agree with me, and the concept of long-term commitment for a vampire. I mean, it's one thing for Nords to be promising eternal companionship, you know, with how short mortal lives are. But us vampires? Well, that'd be an awfully generous promise, wouldn't it? Are you listening? And then, what kind of wife would I have made anyway? Homemaker? Keeper of the hearth? Children would probably be scared of me, and rightfully so. And what would I cook for you? I mean, for my spouse? Poisonous stews, blood pies, right? You'd imagine? You really like me then. I didn't realize. Oh, it must have been why you were so wonderful just now. I'm sorry I lunged at you like that. Well, I'm not sorry. It was amazing. But you... Well, what I'm trying to say is, I like you too. I'm just in such an addled state right now. I don't know how I would really feel once this rush wears off. I don't want to make a heap of hasty promises and then, you know, betray your expectations. Great! That's exactly what we'll do. I'm glad we're in agreement here. Oh, and thank you for everything. If you won't mind, I'd like us to relax here for a bit. Old stone walls towering over the sea, but a candle light high up shining brightly. All alone, sitting in the bay window, tear-stained eyes, and the waves crash below. Old stone walls, deep down in the dark, long lost hope, and secrets sealing my heart. But then you were there, reaching out your hand, and for just a moment I was brought to life again. Old stone walls, I've seen so many now, tales and stories, and the joy of being dragged around. Your smile so bright, I could go blind. But that's okay if you stay by my side. Cold dripping leather, the smell of rain, you fast asleep as I study your face. Old stone wall, they don't hold me anymore. I'm happy where I am, in the grip of your arms. I'm glad you're here. It's not like anything else in Skyrim, I can tell you that much. From now or before. There's probably groves like this all over Tamriel. Most people just don't even know what to look for. Let's get going. I think we're good now. Let's move. Well, we got the knife. Now all we need to do is track down one of those canticle trees. Hope the moths like that bark as much as Dexian said they would. Look at them. They've definitely taken a liking to you. And unless I'm seeing things, you're starting to glimmer. Looks like Are you okay? Almost thought I lost you there. You went as white as the snow. I never trusted those damn scrolls. Who knows what those things could have done to you? Just look at Dexion. What about Ariel's bow? Do you know where we can find it? Then it's almost over. We can finally rewrite the prophecy as we see fit. Where is this Darkfall cave? Then let's get going. I want to get there before my father has a chance to track us down. Lead on. Hold on. Did you hear something?
Now you're mine. What's the hurry?
Damn you!
Not quite good enough.
Already
The whites hate you.
Not very impressive. So what's next for our adventures? So, what do you want to talk about? Not much. If you read any history, it shows up from time to time, but it's a hard thing to track. As far as I know, though, it's never been held by a vampire. That would be a new one. Ariel is one of the elven gods. He's with the rest of them in Aetherius. The way I've heard it, the sun represents the connection from our world to theirs. Supposedly, the bow draws its energy from the sun itself, which is why it shows up in that prophecy. That part, I don't know. Once we have it, hopefully, it'll be obvious. Knew it. Just let me know when you'd like to cuddle. What's the plan? You're such a sweet talker. I've missed this. I'm glad we're together. Another cave. I've spent enough time underground myself, but if you want to go in, I'm right behind you. Another cave. I've spent enough time underground myself. But if you want to go in, I'm right behind you.
Looks like we got ourselves a hero. What was that?
The tales of Serana and her charming death assassin. So, what do you want to talk about? Yeah, I almost thought I lost you for a bit there. I definitely wasn't expecting a fight. And not after, well, you know what I'm talking about. What now? Confident. I've never felt so determined in my life. And if we can survive the soul cairn, then this should be a walk in the park. Unless how far we've come was all because of me, while you just followed. I mean, I am a royal vampire, charmer, alchemist, and mage. While you are... Oh, really? Do entertain me. Oh, go on. Well, point's taken. I don't have anything to refute what you're saying. Yes, I am cold inside and out. A real ice wraith. Anyway, enough of that. We got a bow to find. But first... So, what's on your mind?
Please, It's not like anything else in the world. It's so good. Thank you. Yes. But what about that art that you're showing me? I'm ready. Okay. All right. I see. I know that better than anybody. Just like what we've been doing now. Sure. So, by myself, though. All right, if you say so. Child's play.
Thanks for helping me keep our spirits up. In dark times like these, a good sense of humor makes all the difference. You are making a difference. For me. What now?
Feels good. Soothing, actually. Kind of lonely by myself, though. But what about bringing something to you? Why? You're sweet.
I'm okay with the So, where are we off to now? Be a good guide for this old wreck. Hope you're ready to move. Next word. Something's not right here. Be careful. I think we may be in for some trouble. You got this one. Say your prayers. This was too easy. Why would anyone want to set up camp here? I wonder what happened to them. So what's next for our adventures?
Come forward. You have nothing to fear here. I am Knight Paladin Gelabor. Welcome to the great chantry of Auriel. Auriel, Auriel, Halkosh, Akatosh, so many different names for the sovereign of the Snow Elves. I prefer Snow Elf. The name Falmer usually holds a negative meaning to most travelers. Those twisted creatures you call Falmer, I call the Betrayed. Of course, you're here for Auriel's bow. Why else would you be here? I can help you get it, but first, I must have your assistance. Absolutely. You could turn around and travel back from wherever you started empty-handed, or you could assist me. I need you to kill Archcurate Vertha, my brother. The kinship between us is gone. I don't understand what he's become, but he's no longer the brother I once knew. It was the Betrayed. They did something to him. I just don't know why Auriel would allow this to happen. They swept into the chantry without warning, and began killing everyone without pause. The chantry was a place of peaceful worship. I led a small group of paladins, but we were no match for the Betrayed's sheer numbers. They slaughtered everyone, and stormed the inner sanctum where I believe they corrupted Vertha. He's alive. I've seen him, but something's wrong. He never looks as though he's in pain or under duress. He just stands there and watches, as though waiting. Leaving the way shrines unguarded would be violating my sacred duty as a Knight Paladin of Auriel, and an assault on the Betrayed guarding the inner sanctum would only end with my death. Yes, let me show you.
So, this is snow elf magic. Incredible.
This structure is known as a way shrine. They were used for meditation and for transport when the chantry was a place of enlightenment. Prelates of these shrines were charged with teaching the mantras of Auriel to our initiates.
What's that basin in the center signify?
Once the initiate completed his mantras, he'd dip a ceremonial ewer in the basin at the way shrine's center and proceed to the next way shrine.
So, these initiates had to lug around a heavy pitcher of water. Marvelous. How long would they have to do that?
Well, once the initiate's enlightenment was complete, he'd bring the ewer to the chantry's inner sanctum. Pouring the contents of the ewer into the sacred basin of the sanctum would allow him to enter for an audience with the Archcurate himself.
All that just to end up dumping it out? Makes no sense to me.
It's symbolic. I don't expect you to understand.
So, let's get this straight. We need to do all that nonsense to get into the temple, so we can kill your brother and claim Auriel's bow?
I know how it all sounds. But if there was another way, I'd have done it long ago. The only way to get to my brother is by following in the Initiate's footsteps and traveling from way shrine to way shrine, just as they did. The first lay at the end of Darkfall Passage, a cavern that represents the absence of enlightenment. There are 5 in total, spread far apart across the Chantry. Caves? Oh no. The Chantry encompasses far more than a few caves, as you'll soon discover. But before I send you on your way, you'll need the Initiate's ewer. Once you've located a way shrine, there'll be a spectral prelate tending to it. They will allow you to draw the waters from the shrine's basin, as if you've been enlightened. This may be the last time we're able to converse. If you have any questions before you leave, I suggest you ask them. Otherwise, all I can do now is grant you my hopes for a safe journey.
I'm glad we're together. Yes? Right behind you.
Questions? I expected as much. They're ghosts of the Snow Elf priests that tended the way shrines before being slaughtered by the betrayed. Through the grace of Auriel, they were restored to their spectral form to enable them to continue their duties. I'm afraid in their current form, they still believe the Chantry to be an active center of worship. They won't respond to you in any way other than believing that you're an initiate and you're undertaking the journey to the inner sanctum. This is, or was, the epicenter of our religion. Most of the Snow Elf people worshipped Auriel. The Chantry was constructed near the beginning of the First Era to provide a retreat for those that wished to become enlightened. Our empire had temples to some of the other deities. Trinimac, Sirabane, Yffrey, and Finister rounded out the rest. But those temples paled in comparison to the glory of the Chantry and its way shrines. Oh yes, they were an important part of the process here. They represented the steps the initiates took on the path to total enlightenment. Sadly, the magic used to construct these wonders were lost long before I arrived here. We were once a wealthy and prosperous society that occupied a portion of Skyrim. Unfortunately, we were constantly at war with the Nords, who claimed the land as their ancestral home. In a manner of speaking, we had always maintained an uneasy alliance with the underground-dwelling dwarves, and when faced with extinction, we turned to them for help. Surprisingly, they agreed to protect us, but demanded a terrible price: the blinding of our race. There were splinter groups that resisted the agreement, and even some that sought alternate alliances. But when it was all said and done, those elves were either slaughtered, vanished, or gave up and took the dwarves' bargain. I've often asked myself that very same question. The blinding of my race was supposedly accomplished with a toxin, certainly not enough to devolve them into the sad and twisted beings they've become. The Chantry is quite isolated, so it took some time for word of the dwarves' offer to reach us here. By the time the compact had been completed, it was too late for us to even attempt to intervene. Correct. We only numbered perhaps 100 at the time, so our presence remained a secret to the dwarves and the Nords. Ironically, our undoing came at the hands of our own people. Yes, they swarmed the Chantry in vast numbers until we were completely overrun. We never really stood a chance. I assumed that the Archcurate was corrupted by them when they found a way to breach the inner sanctum. Verther and myself are the only 2 snow elves that remain. May Auriel watch over you.
I'm a sorceress, and a damn good one too. I was just looking back at some childhood memories. The more pleasant ones. There was an old jetty where boats would bring supplies to the castle. Once we moved in, it never got used, along with the rest of the castle undercroft. That's why I used to play and hide down there, looking out to the sea, usually when my father was in a bad mood. Peace, quiet, and there was nothing but the crashing of waves and a sweet ocean breeze. However, if you journeyed further into the undercroft and away from the sea, you reached the old water cistern. You wouldn't like to hang around there for too long. On some days, this would smell. Just be glad you weren't there then.